in the long run, when it comes to working from home, you could have the highest paying job, but if you don't like it, it's not going to sustain you, or it's not something that you would want to do long term. Hey guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Now my goal is at the end of this video show you what are the top highest paying online jobs if you want to work from home. Now if this is your guys' first time on my channel, my name is Lacaba. I am the virtual ate. I've been working from home since I was 15 years old. Now I run an outsourcing agency in the Philippines, and I post videos every Sunday and Thursday on how to work from home, so make sure to hit the subscribe button right there so you don't miss any of my videos. So a big disclaimer before I start with this video. Now I really tried to not do this video right away as I was starting my YouTube channel, because I really don't want you guys to think that the only reason why you should work online is to get the higher paying jobs. It should also be something that you like, that you enjoy, because in the long run, when it comes to working from home, you could have the highest paying job, but if you don't like it, it's not going to sustain you, or it's not something that you would want to do long term, just like any other office job. So please keep that in mind as I go through the list that I have today. The one thing that I do want you guys to keep in mind when it comes to pricing yourself is the closer you are to the source of making money, the higher you can charge. And that will actually come out within the other jobs that I'll be talking about today. So for example, if you're a salesperson, you can actually charge higher just because you are closer to that sale, to the making money part. You can negotiate a little bit more, versus if you're doing more of the tasks that are just not really directly making money, but it's more like making sure that things get followed, making sure that things get documented. You don't really get to charge higher right away unless you've been able to really prove what you can do. Now, if you guys want to figure out more about how to price yourself, you can check out this video right here on how to price yourself working online. Now, a lot of the jobs that I have on this list doesn't really apply for beginners. So if you are a beginner, I have a ton of other videos that you can try out. I have this video right here on top jobs that you can do on your phone, and also jobs that you can do as a teen. So make sure to check out those two videos if you are more just, you don't have a lot of experience yet and you just wanted to get started working online. So the first kind of job that is a little bit higher paid is becoming a project manager. Now this will depend on the industry you're in, but the minimum usually for a project manager is $1,000 or 50,000 pesos per month. And that is the minimum. Now what a project manager does is you're basically someone who makes sure that a project gets done. Like if anything comes up with the employees or the team members that you're working with, if anything happened with the tools, with the clients, you are in charge of that. You have to be someone who is really keen on attention to detail, of really watching things as they move along from start to finish of a certain project. Now this is mostly for software related businesses, software related industries, like creating an app, creating a website where there is a definitive start and end date. But you could also be working with an agency who does this for a living, where they're always getting clients who need projects done. So if you are someone who has experience, even just a little bit of experience on how it is to manage a team, how to manage a project from start to finish, this might be something that is for you. The next kind of highest paying job that you can do online is becoming a digital marketing manager or analyst. Now this will involve a lot of numbers. So if you're someone who loves looking over data, who loves learning about a lot of the different tools that comes to digital marketing, then this is something that usually start over about 52,000 pesos or about $1,100. So this is something that if you are just already someone who loves going through digital marketing, you have knowledge on SEO, you have knowledge on the algorithms of the different platforms, you also know how to be able to launch like a product through marketing so people know more about it, then this is something that either you can learn as a skill, being a digital marketing analyst, or something that you are already trained in. So try to look at your experiences. If you're someone who knows how to track if something's working, like a marketing test is working or not working, if you can kind of really look at data and be able to say, okay, this is now the next marketing push that we're doing, then this is definitely something that you can transfer over as a skill. If you were already doing this in an in-person job or a physical job, then you can definitely do this online. The next higher paying jobs that you can find working from home is becoming a web content manager or editor. So now if the digital marketing analyst is more really looking at numbers, when you are someone who is a web content manager or editor, you are now someone who's making sure of the quality of each work that comes out for your client. So let's say your client has a website or has a YouTube channel. Your job as someone who does a lot of web content management is you're making sure that there's no more errors, that there's more grammar errors, there's no more inconsistencies. You're also making sure, if you have a little bit of SEO background, that the content can actually be found on YouTube or on Google upon search. You're really also managing the people that you're working with to make sure that they stick to deadlines and they also meet their minimums or their quotas to be able to match whatever content is needed for your client's website or video or whatever type of content that they are currently creating. Now, the starting pay for this is about 47,000 pesos above, so that's just a good minimum. And this is definitely one of those jobs where if you can handle it, you can work for more than one client. The next kind of high-paying jobs online is being an app developer. Now, I talked about this a little bit. As a project manager, you are managing app developers, and it's the same thing. You can get a really high-paying job as an app developer because you're literally creating the product that your boss is now going to be selling, promoting, marketing themselves. So as an app developer, your minimum pay usually is about 40,000 pesos or about $800. Some employers do require that you have some sort of college background for this, but if you can show that you've been able to create digital apps before, digital mobile apps before, then this is something that you can easily get online, because there's more and more businesses who want their own app, who want their own website made and up and running. So this is something that you can, just searching through a lot of different sites like onlinejobs.ph, you'll be able to find the higher paying opportunities. The next higher paying jobs that you can find working from home is becoming a technical writer. Now, what a technical writer does is you are someone who creates the manuals or the documentation of how to do a certain task within a technology company. So let's say you're someone who knows how to create different formulas within Google Sheets. If you're someone who can translate that in a really easy to understand way of someone who has no idea how to do that, then you can be a technical writer. Now, technical writer is basically, you really have to be step by step and detailed of transforming words that are complete mystery for someone who might not be that technologically advanced into just making it super easy for them to follow instructions. So you could be making, like I said, manuals, you're making documentation. It could be that you are just teaching them how to turn on a simple Bluetooth earphones. So there's a lot of things that come into becoming a technical writer. So the more advanced and the more knowledgeable you are about a certain product or a certain industry, then the higher you can get paid. Minimum for this usually is about 30,000 pesos or about $600. But again, that's a minimum. The more specialized you are, the more niche you are, the higher you can charge. The next kind of high paying job that you can do working from home is becoming a web developer. Kind of similar as an app developer, you are now really focused on the website. So like Shopify, WordPress, Squarespace. If you're someone who can figure all of that out and make a website that can really showcase the client's products and services, then you're someone who can charge a little bit higher. Now, usually the starting pay for this is about 30,000 pesos or $600, but you can charge higher, again, based off of the people that you might be working with, their industry, and how much they can also afford for you. Now, there's two types of web developers. There's the front end, which is you're basically just making sure that everything in what they see, what the person sees when they log into the website or when they go into the website, that is the front end. The back end is more of databases maybe, or tables or things that will need to get done in the background to make sure that the website is up and running. The next kind of high paying jobs that you can do working from home is becoming a marketing specialist. So a marketing specialist can charge about minimum of 20,000 pesos or $400 a month. But basically, as a marketing specialist, you are now the person who really creates like the content calendar of what else to put out to make sure that the product or the service is marketed right. You're also someone who knows a little bit of copywriting, who knows a little bit of graphic design, just to make sure that everything that you plan out comes together to, again, have that organic reach when it comes to maybe Facebook posts or Instagram posts or maybe even LinkedIn. As a marketing specialist, your one focus is to really help the client's products and services be able to be more accessible to people who have no idea who they are. Basically, a lot of brand awareness. So for example, for you guys, you found this video, probably either you have already been subscribed to my YouTube channel, maybe through YouTube search, or maybe you just found this on social media. So that is marketing. I marketed my product, which is this YouTube video, to you. So if you're a marketing specialist, you would be helping me kind of create that plan of like, okay, you post on this site and you will get a lot of views here. Like I said, you will need to learn a little bit of about everything when it comes to digital marketing. So a little bit of SEO, a little bit of copywriting, a little bit of graphic design, just to make sure that you can put everything all together together to show your client that this is something that you can do and you can show off their product and their services. Another higher paying job that you can do working from home is becoming a video editor. So for example, for me, I produce a ton of content every week. So my awesome video editor goes into and edits all of my errors, all of my weird bloopers, and make sure that when you guys see this video, you don't see any of that. Unless of course I ask her to. But basically, if the person that you're working for, your client, is selling the video that you create, maybe as like a video course or a step-by-step walkthrough or some sort of way where they're earning money from the videos you can edit and create, then you can charge higher. The minimum for this is about the same as the early ones, which is about 20 to 25,000, which is about $500. But it's the same thing where you can charge higher just because you're helping them showcase whatever their product or their service is. The next kind of higher paying job that you can do working from home is becoming a copywriter. Now, I am someone who has been copywriting in the last 5 years, and it's something that I love to do. And as a copywriter, you're basically putting into text and persuading people why you should buy a certain product or service of your client. So again, you're closer to making that sale. You're actually helping them make money. That's why this is one of the jobs where you can charge higher. Being a copywriter, you're basically making sure that people understand what their product or the service does, so then they're more informed when they buy or get the service or the product. This can involve anything from creating like email copy, which is writing the newsletters for your clients so they can sell their product or the service. You could also be creating something that's called a sales page, where usually you've probably seen this one or twice, where you've seen like a whole really long page where it's selling a product or a service or a course. You might also just be writing like Facebook ads copy. So again, you're trying to persuade the right customers that your client wants to talk to be able to make that sale. The next type of higher paying jobs you can do online is becoming a social media marketing specialist. Now, this is where you're really more focused on a certain platform that you know that if a product or a service comes your way, that you know how to be able to plan out to make sure that you push that product or service to the right people so the right people see them and buy them, and of course fall in love with that product or service. You need to have really good knowledge when it comes to brand marketing, when it comes to positioning your certain client, to make sure again that you are really facing them to where their customers and the people who need their product or service are. So as a social media marketing specialist, you're someone who really knows how to market things on LinkedIn or on Instagram or on Facebook. So you've really narrowed down and chosen one platform that you know really, really well and that you know that you can sell different products and services through. Now, the minimum for this is about $400 or 20,000 pesos a month, but you can charge higher based off of past results that you've been able to do with previous employers. Now, this part of the list is going to be something interesting for you because this is a type of job that you probably have heard a lot, but one of the jobs that you can charge higher is becoming a virtual assistant. But the caveat or the way that you can twist this, if you don't really have a lot of experience and you still want to charge higher, is by naming yourself as an executive assistant. Now, as an executive assistant, you are someone who is really detail oriented. You're someone who can keep your boss in line, making sure that they can follow deadlines on projects. So this is kind of the reverse of being a project manager. As a project manager, you're managing people. As an executive assistant, you are managing your boss. You're making sure that their contents or their contacts are basically up to date. If someone maybe had an anniversary, you're making sure that you reach out to them. If your boss has a product or a service and you can watch out and see that they might be losing a sale, you're the person who now reaches out to that person that they want to make a deal with. So as an executive assistant, you're kind of a second brain to the boss, to the client that you're working with, because you are now going to get to the point where you can act or think like them, because a person can only do so much in 24 hours, and it's the same thing with your boss. So as an executive assistant, you can charge a little bit higher just because you already have that expertise of how to make sure that things get done, that things get tracked with your boss or your client. So you're really working more closely here with the client himself. Now, like I mentioned, you can have the highest paid job, but if you're not happy doing it, it's not going to sustain you. So I really recommend that you try to look into, okay, which one of these jobs you actually want to do long term, because one of the biggest parts about working from home is the motivation and the discipline to keep going on days where it doesn't seem like it's okay. Now, if you guys like this video, make sure to hit thumbs up right there, because that does help grow my channel, and also comment below which one of these jobs you're thinking of doing yourself, so I can give you maybe a little bit of a tip on how to get better at it. And if you still haven't, make sure to hit the subscribe button right there so you don't miss any of my videos every Sunday and Thursday on how to work from home. And you guys can check out these other two videos right here to get more tips on how to work from home. Now, I hope you guys have an awesome day. Remember that small steps matters, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!